What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to this weekend's Anfield Agenda Premier League predictions. As always, I'm going to go through and try to predict the scores and the outcomes of the 10 games coming up over this Premier League weekend. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section and play along. Let me know what one do you think I've got right, and more importantly, what one do you think I've gotten wrong. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like on it, and of course, we would love you to hit that subscribe button. There is loads to go through, so I'm going to jump straight into the fixtures, ladies and gentlemen. And first up it is Brentford against Brighton and Hove Albion. So this is a difficult one to kick off, in all honesty, ladies and gents, because my mind says Brighton are still challenging for those European places, but they have been a little bit susceptible to conceding some silly goals. On the other side, Brentford, well, we know how good they are at home, and they love an early goal. Thomas Frank, as I always mentioned, make sure that this team is well drilled. Visa and Mbeumo having a fantastic season as well. So it was a real difficult one to predict, but this is the best that I've come up with. So don't forget to let me know if you agree or disagree. For me, I'm going to go for a narrow away win. I think that, well, that goal of European football should be a difference maker for me on this one. So I'm going to go for a narrow Brighton win by 2-1. Let me know what your thoughts are on that one. Next up, Crystal Palace against Bournemouth. And look, Crystal Palace have just received an absolute whooping from Newcastle, 5-0. And let's be honest, that's probably not a scoreline that many of us expected. Now, Newcastle winning, no surprise there. They're in great form under, well, I was going to say under Eddie Howe, but of course, he's recovering from pneumonia, and we do wish him a speedy and full recovery. But under Jason Tindall, they've continued that good work from the League Cup final. Crystal Palace, there's no denying they've had a very good season under Oliver Glasner, but they're going to want to respond to that one. And Iriola, well, the owner of Bournemouth, flying in for new talks with him to try and keep him at the club. What's going to happen in this one? Honestly, I think this could go either way. So, I've gone for a 1-1 draw. I'm firmly sitting on the fence. Palace are going to want a reaction, as I mentioned, after that 5-0 mauling at the hands of Newcastle. And Bournemouth are going to want to keep up their hopes of some European football for next season. Next game up, Everton against Manchester City. In years gone by, this would have been a very straightforward one. But like I keep saying, Everton under David Moyes, they're a different beast, and they've been in a great run of form. I mean, who would have thought they'd have got that narrow 1-0 away win as well against Nottingham Forest, who have been incredible this season. So give Everton their fair dues. They're going to make this a difficult game for Manchester City. Obviously, we know Haaland out for City as well. Their focus has to be on making sure they get Champions League football next season. As we sit here right now recording this video, it's Liverpool, Arsenal, then Newcastle in the top 3 positions, Forest dropping down, City, Aston Villa, Chelsea, all fighting for the remaining spot or two. So, my result in this one, ladies and gentlemen, got to go for 1-1. And that is a bold prediction, I know, because as I mentioned, every other year I would have been sitting here comfortably predicting a Man City win. But Everton are difficult to beat, and Manchester City aren't as free scoring as they once were. So I'm going to go for that 1-1 draw. Let me know if you think I'm deluded or if that's a genius answer. Next up, West Ham, Southampton. Southampton, of course, set an unwanted record this season, being the fastest club to be relegated from the Premier League. West Ham, again, in some good form. Good manager in Graham Potter. Obviously, almost got a point at Anfield, and thankfully they didn't. Virgil van Dijk's very late header, and happy Virgil van Dijk Day once again to everyone, as I am recording this on the Thursday. Yeah, I think West Ham at home should be fairly straightforward for them. So with that in mind, this is what I'm going for. A 2-0 victory for the Hammers. I do think that they're playing some decent football on the Graham Potter, and I just think that Southampton, well, maybe, you know what? Maybe Southampton will play with a bit more freedom now that they know that they're down, but I still don't think it's going to be anything other than a Hammers victory, ladies and gentlemen. The next game up, what a game this is going to be, by the way. Aston Villa, Newcastle. Aston Villa, of course, a heroic fight back against Paris Saint-Germain, just about knocked out in the quarter-final. And again, well done to Unai Emery's side and a great campaign. They can be very proud of their endeavours in Europe and represented the Premier League well. Obviously, Liverpool got knocked out the round before. So Villa are going to want to make sure that they can get back into Champions League football next season. And Newcastle, well, as I mentioned, absolutely flying, having a fantastic season. And I can't see anything other than Newcastle and Aston Villa being a very close game to call. So, 2-1 away victory. I know it's a big call. I think the fact that Unai Emery's side played midweek will give the advantage energy-wise to Newcastle. A lot would have went into that game for Unai Emery's team. So I'm going to go for a Jason Tindall masterclass yet again and a 2-1 narrow victory for Newcastle United. Fulham against Chelsea in a London derby. And again, Fulham is one of those teams that a lot of people keep underestimating this season. Liverpool fans, well, we can tell you exactly how good Marco Silva's side are, how well coached, how strong they are. Chelsea, a little bit all over the place. They do have Europa Conference League football, albeit a much-changed side for that one. So in this one, ladies and gentlemen, I was, again, wrestling back and forth in my mind about what way I thought it would go. Yeah, well, let's just get straight to it so you can tell me how right or wrong you think I am. I'm going to go for a Desmond on this one, 2-2. Could be wrong, could be right, could be genius. Again, these are all just predictions, but I think this is a justifiable scoreline in all honesty. So Fulham 2, Chelsea 2. Now we move on to, well, a game that could have huge ramifications for me as a Liverpool fan. If somehow Ipswich Town can beat Arsenal, then Liverpool could win the league title a few hours later at Leicester City. But that's easier said than done. Arsenal, again, an incredible achievement for them. Gone over to the Santiago Bernabeu and deservedly beating Real Madrid by 2-1, trouncing them 5-1 on aggregate. They have a semi-final to look forward to against Paris Saint-Germain, and congratulations to any Arsenal fans watching and Mikel Arteta. Ipswich, on the other hand, still sort of fighting to save their Premier League lives. I know that there's going to be some of a hangover for Arsenal, but even allowing for that, I am going to go for a narrow away win for the Gunners. I think they're going to make us have to go and win it. And do you know what? In all honesty, I do want Liverpool to win it at Anfield. So I wouldn't mind it dragging on one more week so we can beat Spurs at Anfield to win it. So I'm going to go for a narrow win there for Arsenal by 2-1. Now, Manchester United against Wolves. This is an interesting one in all honesty. United, as I'm recording this, remember it is Thursday, will play tonight against Lyon in the quarter-final of the Europa League, 2-2 after the first leg. Wolves, Matheus Cunha back in there as well. Strand Larsen starting to bag some goals. Wolves have had some joy at Old Trafford in recent years, but in this one, here's what I'm going for. I'm going to go for a narrow away win because I think Manchester United's full focus should be on the Europa League, and I think Wolves will catch them. Obviously, it's not unusual to say there'll be a hangover when you're playing Thursday, Sunday football, so I'm going to eke out a narrow win for Wolves. And this isn't to be disrespectful to any United fans watching. I just think that Thursday night hangover could get Wolves to sneak a victory. Leicester City versus Liverpool. What is the biggest game of the weekend for me as a Liverpool fan? And on the face of it, this should be easy. But we know Liverpool have been a little bit nervy lately. Leicester City, well, they're going to go and put up a fight. This will be like a cup final for them. The Reds coming to the King Power. They might be back in the Championship next season. So I think they're going to be up for this one. It's a 4:30 kickoff on Sunday as well. All in, though, I think the Reds are going to be too strong for them. So this is what I'm predicting. Liverpool to win by 3-1. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with that one. And then the final game of the weekend is a belter for Monday Night Football. Spurs against Nottingham Forest. Both managers need to go in for different reasons. There's lots of talk that Ange Postecoglou could be sacked very soon. That's been hanging over his head for a while. They obviously have their own European night tonight, travelling over to Eintracht Frankfurt. Nottingham Forest, well, they can't afford any more slip-ups, really. They've got to go and pick up points to make sure that they don't slip away from Champions League qualification right at the very end of the season. So in this one, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going for a narrow away win for Nottingham Forest. I do think they will be spurred into action. See what I've done there? Yeah, dad jokes. And I think that they'll get a narrow victory. So, just to recap, ladies and gents, I'm going Brentford 1, Brighton 2, Crystal Palace 1, Bournemouth 1, Everton 1, Manchester City 1, West Ham 2, Southampton 0, Aston Villa 1, Newcastle United 2, Fulham 2, Chelsea 2, Ipswich 1, Arsenal 2, Manchester United 1, Wolves 2, Leicester City 1, Liverpool 3, and in the last game of the weekend, Spurs 1, Nottingham Forest 2. That, my friends, is my Premier League predictions. Now it's over to you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. We're going to tweak this video up a little bit from next season where we'll be able to recap on the week's scores before. We're going to keep a tally going throughout the season as well, and we might even find a way to be interactive to have Craig versus a viewer every week. So keep your eye on it. I do appreciate your support. This is a new video to our, well, group of videos that we offer here on Anfield Agenda. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do. And of course, drop a like on the video as well. We will catch up with you soon. Much love, my friends. Enjoy the weekend.